Hello, and welcome back to ABC, Aubrey Books and Coffee. Grab your favorite beverage and join me for some book talking. Today we're going to talk about March's TBRW game and what happened. As always, I end up getting a few more books than I mean to, but I just love to read, which is why, of course, I'm doing this channel, and you're watching it, so I'm hoping that means you love it as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at what happened. So on my first roll, it was a standalone fantasy. That's when I ended up rolling a standalone fantasy. So for that one, I picked, as you saw from my book haul a couple videos ago, The Cat Who Saved Books by Suzuki Natsuawa. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. I've always been absolutely horrible with names. So I'm very excited to see how that goes, and I'll tell you at the end of the month what I thought of it. Then my second roll gave me the prompt of a royalty in the title or theme. And so for that, I had The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer Armentrout. I'm so excited. This is the third one in the series from Blood and Ash series that she's done. And as you may remember from my review last video, loved the second one. So I'm hoping the third one will be just the same. And her fourth one, I believe, comes out later this month. So I'm really excited about that too. And I'll let you know. The next prompt was a book with two authors. Now, I don't know I've ever done that before, so this was kind of exciting. But one of the books I had heard a lot about and I had always wanted to read was Aurora Rising. And this is by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And you can't tell because it's way up at the top out of screen, but I also have Jay Kristoff's Nevernight series and Empire the Vampire. Absolutely love him, so I'm excited to see how this goes. I'm sure it'll be a win. The next prompt that I had was a random number grab from my TBR list. So I asked my husband to pick a number between 1 and 100 because over 200 of my TBR would love to reads are in my apothecary jar here to pick, but 100 are on my phone because only so many will fit in that jar. So I told him to pick a number between 1 and 100. He chose 93, and that was Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. So I'm excited to dive into that and see what we think of that. I've never read anything from Maureen. The next one that I rolled was a short read, so it had to be under a certain page count. For that one, I chose a book that he got me as a gift because he knows I love all things Jane Austen except that Pride and Prejudice. We talked about that Pride and Prejudice and Zombies book. But this one is Pemberley, Mr. Darcy's Dragons. So we'll have to see. This one is by Maria Grace. So we'll see how that works. I do love dragons, so we'll see. That might be the perfect combination for me. The next prompt that I got from my rolls was to read a sequel. Well, that was perfect. I don't know if you remember, if you got to watch the other video, but I had started ACOTAR for the first time. And I said I hoped there was a way to work in the next book in that series. Well, here's the sequel, A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. How perfect is that? So I'm very excited. I'm going to give this a try. I'm betting it'll be a 5-star read. I'm betting I'll love it. It's a bit thicker than the first one, but I do miss Freya and I do miss Tamlin, so we'll have to see what goes on. More to follow. The next roll that I got in prompt was for a middle school read. And so, as I told you also in the review from the last video, my daughter's been reading The Keeper of the Lost Cities, and that's in the middle school where she's at. So I got the next one. This is book 8, Keeper of the Lost Cities, Legacy by Shannon Messenger. So I'll let you know. We're getting close to the end. I have been spoiled on some things because people just don't know how to keep spoilers to themselves, but we'll see. The next prompt, or actually that was all the prompts for the game. Next was the Bookopoly. Remember Becca and the books. Again, I'll make sure stuff's down below for you to find her if you didn't get to watch the video beforehand. She has that Bookopoly game. And so when I rolled it with my family, this time the prompt got me to An Ember in the Ashes by Sabah Tahir. I apologize for the names. Another series I'd always wanted to try that I heard was absolutely phenomenal. So I am totally on board with that being one of the books that I read this month. And a review will come at the end of the month, of course. Then one of the things I wanted to start wanted to start reading was from my TBR list on the Apothecary Jar. So like I said, I've put about 200 of them in here. And I had Katie draw one. And the one that was drawn, and pardon my bad handwriting, was This Savage Song. See if it shows up at all. And so, of course, I got it at my wonderful local library by Victoria Schwab. I've not read anything by her either, but I've heard lots and lots of wonderful things. So I'm excited to read this as well and to find out what that's going to be all about. Along with getting those, I decided to treat myself because I've been such a good girl. And I got, my February TBR done. So don't you deserve a prize when you get that done? So I said I wanted some new bookmarks. I went on to Etsy and there was a shop called Breeze Bookshop. And see if it'll show up, if the name will show up at all. I apologize. I'm hoping that it'll show in. If not, I'll try to link it below. But because I'm loving the From Blood and Ash series, she made these absolutely gorgeous bookmarks that have the different quotes from Blood and Ash, We Will Rise, From This Moment Until the Last, I Am Yours, and of course the one everybody knows, You're an absolutely stunning, murderous little creature. So I've got some new bookmarks too. So I'm excited about that. Okay, so moving on, because I know you're like me and time is precious, and let's get going. So for the W portion of the TBRW game that I play, I also get writing prompts. So for the month of March, it was not kind. Maybe it's wanting me to, catch up with stuff I'd missed before, but the very first roll has me writing 18,000 words. Ouch. Ouch. Good news is by doing that, I will be completing one of my cards behind me and we'll get a new book. So yay for the BookTube channel to get that. But ouchie for the writing. Of course, I do need to finish book 2. So maybe that's part of it. And since this is March, I'm super close to when I am going to start releasing part of each chapter of my book each week from book 1. So I do need to get book 2 done. That way I can start releasing it on time. The next roll was a little bit kinder, and that was to write 5,000 words. So, okay, I can handle that. That may be the one I tackle first, to be honest. The next prompt was to take a writing masterclass. And so I'm really excited about that because my sister-in-law actually gifted us with with a masterclass thing where we scan the code or whatever, and then it gives us the video. And a writing masterclass was one of those. And I've been wanting to read it and watch it and get into it. So I am excited that I got that prompt. The next one was to make sure that I have a small heart attack or carpal tunnel because I'm going to do nothing but writing. And that was for writing 13,000 words. So we've got 18 plus 18 now. I may be finishing my second book this month. That may be what has to happen because I had to, as a punishment, do an extra roll because I did not finish in February the thousands of words I was supposed to write for February. And so thankfully this other roll was a little bit kinder to me though. And that one was that I get to listen to 2 writers' podcasts. And that's great because there's several I listen to and absolutely love. You Should Be Writing, several others. And they're very motivational and they give great advice and they help me remember it can be kind of a lonely road. It's definitely an uphill battle, but there's joy and there's inspiration and there's a reason why you don't feel complete until you're sitting down and putting words to a page, and the joy that people can get from reading what you've, written down. So, So March is going to be a very, very busy month. So I will let you know at the end of the month how those books went. But meanwhile, for the next video, I'm going to unbox the Scribbler box for you. Yay! So you'll get to see what is inside of those boxes and what book they decided to send. And that book is now added on to my March TBR. Take care, have a great day, and I'll see you soon.